Hello everyone, my name is Mayuri Patel. This week presentation bond valuation and interest rate impact on bond. I share my screen. Bond valuation and interest rate sensitivity. Introduction. This presentation will discuss how the period of maturity and change in interest rate influence bond prices. We will take two different maturity bonds and compare the price. Moreover, we will also calculate the impact of interest rate fluctuations and talk about investment strategy in the event that the economy slow down. Per value, the value stated on the face of the bond is to be paid at maturity, typically $1,000. It determines the amount of the final payment and is used to calculate it coupon payment. Coupon rate, the annual interest rate paid by the bond issuer on the bond face value. It is expressed as a percentage of the per value. The periodic interest payment made to bond holders, which are typically and semi-annually. Maturity, the length of time until the bond's principal amount is repaid. It is the date on which the bond's per value is returned to the bondholder. Affect the bond's price sensitivity to interest rate changes. Longer maturity generally result in greater price fluctuations. Interest rate risk, the risk that change in interest rate will affect the bond price. When the market interest rate rise, the price of existing bond typically falls, and the vice versa. It reflects how much the bond price is expected to change in response to fluctuate in interest rate. With longer term bonds generally having higher interest rate risk. Bond price comparison. Bond A is more prone to fluctuate in interest rate due to its 30-year maturity. Since bond B has 5 years to maturity, its price fluctuate will likely be less given that per value, coupon rate, interest rates of the two bonds are exactly same. The only factor that is probably going to affect the price of maturity. Time to maturity. Longer maturity bonds generally trade at higher prices when interest rates are lower due to the higher present value of future cash flows. Bond A will trade at a higher price compared to bond B if rates are low, because the lower duration result in more interest payments begin discounted at a lower rate, increase the bond price. Calculation of bond price. Assumption: the both bonds have a per value is $1,000 and 5% annual coupon rate, with interest rates changing 3% to 4%. Bond A at 3%, the present value is 1,642 and 20 cent, and the bond A 4%, the present value dropped to 1,243.82 cent. Percentage change for bond A explains a 22.30% decrease price changes, and bond B at 3%, the present value is 1,179 and 70 cents. The bond B 4% at present value, the decrease 1,101.97 cents. So percentage changes for the bond B, the 6.6% decrease. Impact of rising interest rate. Inverse relationship, bond price decrease with an increase in interest rate and vice versa. Sensitivity: longer maturity bonds such as a bond A tend to be more sensitive to changes in interest rate. Duration concept measure the bond price sensitivity to interest rate changes higher for longer maturity. And explanation, one crucial insight is that with rising interest rates, bond A will have a higher percentage price change when compared to bond B. Investment strategies for slowdown. Economic slowdown expected. Current situations. Anticipation of the economic slowdown can impact towards various investment decisions, especially in bond market. Understanding how economic conditions affect bond prices and interest rate in crucial for market making informed investment choices. Investment strategy. Invest in bond with shorter maturity. Options for bond with shorter duration and focus on higher credit rating. Choose bonds with high credit rating. The best strategy is anticipate economic slowdown with to be will to be invest in short term bonds or higher term quality bond to mitigate risk. And why short term bonds are less affected by interest rate fluctuation, and higher quality bond have a lower default risk. These are references. Thank you.